Friends, welcome Mother's Day week. And I knew for Mother's Day, I kind of had to jazz it up a little bit. Moms are the best. That's probably the least controversial thing a person could really say. Moms are amazing, and I had the joy and privilege of really experiencing two moms in my life, the mother of my children, Suzanne McKay Van Dyke, and the mother of me, Lois May Huber Van Dyke. So some of you are a mom, some of you may have a mom, or some of you are both. This is really for you. I just, Suzanne, the mother of my kids, for her, it was her passion to be a mom, and it was a labor of love for her. She loved being involved with the kids, and she had such a gift to get excited about whatever it is they were doing. I really don't think she was that into Pokemon cards, but you never would have known because she was in there with them, and whatever they were doing, she was involved in, and she used her giftedness and her passion to really give what she could give to our kids. And she spent emotional and mental energy thinking about them and their development as they were growing up, and really coming up with strategies and ideas and concerns on what she felt they were dealing with at that point in time. And one thing about Suzanne is our kids knew that she always had her back. And she still does. She has their back, and they know it. And I'm just, my four kids are blessed to have Suzanne as their mom. My own mom, Lois May Huber Van Dyke. Some of you know her, most of you maybe don't. She was a kind, gentle soul. She was pretty meek, pretty soft spoken. But I remember there were a couple times in my growing up years where I got bullied and intimidated, and it really shook me. And I kind of didn't know what to do. And so I talked to my mom about it. And in both situations, now my mom, in her full vertical glory, she was all of 5'3". And that was, at her top height. She ended up at the end being maybe about 4.5 feet tall. And she didn't like confrontation, and she was soft spoken, but both of those times she confronted the bullies on my behalf and stood up for me for what I thought was a wrong, and she was more than glad to get out of her comfort zone to protect her son. And she was such a kind and gentle soul, and so giving. And in the last few years of her life, her health declined, and physically and mentally. And so I had the privilege of spending a lot more time with her. I'd pick her up and Sunday mornings, get her ready, get her dressed for church. We'd go to church and then take her out to Perkins afterwards. And we did things together. She needed a lot of help. She needed physical help. Mentally, she wasn't all there, but she was very ambitious, and she wouldn't admit to some of those things. But she needed help. And, one thing, my mom always stayed my mom. And as an adult, you don't always realize that, but your parents and my mom always stayed my mom. And she, even though she had a lot going on in her life, a lot of needs, she never thought she really needed as much help as she did. But for two, she always felt like us kids were doing too much for her. Said, "You're doing too much. You don't have to do so much." And I'm thinking, there's no way we can repay you for what you've done to us. And my mom, the last couple of years as her health was declining, she worried about me. She worried about all of her kids, but specifically things going on in my life. She really worried about me a lot, and she would say things to me. And so, just this past winter, as we knew her time was coming to an end, and it was a beautiful Friday morning, and my three sisters and I, it was just us and my mom together. And she was at a point then where she was unresponsive. We didn't know if she could hear us or understand us. And so each one of us talked about, Mom, you can go now, and all three of my sisters went, and then it was my turn, and and I knew she was really worried about me, and so I said, Mama, I laid out my heart to her, and I just thanked her so much. I said, Mom, you know what? I know you worry a lot about me, but I want you to know that I'm not alone, and I'm going to be okay. And right after I said that, she stopped breathing. You see, moms never stop being moms, and they never stop caring. And a mother's love on this earth is, I believe, the closest reflection we will ever see of how God really feels about us. And so I know this Sunday I'm going to go to the cemetery to talk to my mom and tell her again how much I love her. And I hope in whatever context you're in, you'll do the same. And for all you moms, you are the best. Thanks.